Hey everyone, welcome back to another Designation Buddy Explainer. Today, we're unpacking Learning Module 2, and arguably the single most important concept in all of finance, the time value of money. Seriously, if you're gearing up for the CFA Level I exam, completely mastering this one module is going to totally revolutionize how you approach the rest of the curriculum.
Here's our agenda for today. First, the core TVM principle. Then, BAI plus calculator mechanics, valuing zero coupon bonds, traditional bonds, stocks, and finally, additivity and arbitrage. Let's get right into it. Section 1, the core TVM principle, which is really the universal rule of valuation.
If you take absolutely nothing else away from this entire explainer, let it be this. Every financial asset is ultimately worth the present value of the cash flows it's expected to generate in the future. Whether you're looking at a bond, a stock, a mortgage, or even some wild, complex derivative, you're literally just doing the exact same thing over and over again. You estimate the future cash flows, and you discount them back to today's dollars. The underlying math doesn't change, only the type of cash flow changes. To really grasp why we do this, think about it for a second. Would you rather I hand you $1,000 today or $1,000 exactly 1 year from now? You take it today, right? Why? Because having it in your hands right now means you can put it to work and earn a return. That right there is the time value of money in a nutshell. Money available today is inherently worth more than that exact same amount in the future just because today's money has the opportunity to grow. Let's map out how that growth actually happens. You take that $1,000 today, invest it at, say, an 8% annual return, and boom, it turns into $1,080 a year from now. Pushing money forward through time like this gives us what we call a future value. But if we want to reverse that process, pulling future money backward into today's dollars, that gives us a present value. And the engine making both of those calculations possible, it's that 8% interest rate. When we're moving backward, we just call that interest rate our discount rate.
And listen, this isn't just some standalone concept to memorize and forget. Nailing this today is literally going to save you hundreds of hours later. TVM is the absolute bedrock for fixed income, equity investments, corporate issuers, derivatives, and portfolio management. The better you understand discounting right now, the easier all of those notoriously difficult topics will become.
Moving on to Section 2, BAI 2+ Calculator Mechanics, your absolute most valuable tool on exam day.
You need to build serious muscle memory with these 5 specific keys on your calculator. N for the number of periods, I/Y for the interest rate, PV for present value, PMT for payment, and FV for future value. The open secret to the exam is that most quantitative questions simply ask you to solve for one unknown variable after you punch in the other 4. Practice with these keys right now, and hey, always remember to clear your TVM worksheet first, and you're going to save yourself so much time and stress. Treat this little plastic device like your new best friend.
Okay, Section 3, valuing zero coupon bonds. This is the simplest application of present value we have.
Imagine a scenario where someone says, hey, give me $8,000 today, and I'll hand you $10,000 in exactly 3 years. That's a zero coupon bond. Notice what's going on. Because there's only one future cash flow right at maturity, you're doing a single, incredibly clean present value calculation. You're just dragging that one $10,000 payment 3 years back in time. Whenever you see a bond with no coupon payments on the exam, instantly think, one future cash flow, one present value calculation.
The big takeaway here is the contrast. A zero coupon bond is just that one single lump sum payout. But as you probably know, most traditional bonds play by a slightly different set of rules, offering an entire stream of payments over time. Which leads perfectly into Section 4, valuing traditional bonds, where we're discounting a stream of future payments. Instead of waiting years for one big payday, a traditional bond is going to kick off regular coupon payments, usually every 6 months. Then, at the very end, you get that final coupon plus your original principal back. The price of this bond today? It's simply the present value of every single one of those future cash flows added together. You aren't just valuing one payment anymore, you're valuing a whole stream of them.
Here's a massive tip for your prep. Do not fall into the trap of memorizing different mathematical formulas for these concepts. Bond prices, yield to maturity, mortgage payments, they sound like completely different topics, right? But they are all fundamentally the exact same calculation on your calculator. You are just discounting a stream of future payments back to today. That's it.
Next up, Section 5, valuing stocks using the dividend discount model.
Think about how similar this looks to the traditional bond we just talked about. It's practically identical. We're just swapping out the labels on the cash flows. Instead of bond coupons, we're looking at expected stock dividends. And instead of the bond principal returning at maturity, the final cash flow is the eventual selling price of the stock. Once again, today's value is simply the present value of all those future cash flows discounted back to today. Let's pause on this for a second because the CFA Institute absolutely loves testing the dividend discount model. You're going to see this heavily in the practice questions. You need to be deeply comfortable estimating future dividends and discounting them, whether you're dealing with a constant growth model or a multi-stage model where the growth rate shifts over time. But just keep reminding yourself, the underlying principle never changes. Estimate the future cash flows, discount them back. Finally, let's wrap up with Section 6, Cash Flow, Additivity, and Arbitrage. This is how we maintain consistent pricing in the market.
So, cash flow additivity. The rule is incredibly straightforward. The present value of a whole series of future cash flows is exactly equal to the sum of the present values of each individual one, assuming they're discounted correctly. This principle is literally the glue holding financial markets together. And the reason it matters so much? It prevents risk-free arbitrage.
Let's say you have two risk-free strategies. Strategy 1, you invest for 1 year at 2.5%, then you reinvest for a second year at 2.5%. Strategy 2, you lock your money away today in a 2-year bond that pays a guaranteed 3.5% annually. Well, if that 3.5% consistently produced a higher risk-free return without any extra risk, every single trader in the market would instantly flock to the 2-year bond. They'd exploit it immediately, and that right there is an arbitrage opportunity. Now, you don't need to be an arbitrage master just yet. We'll get deep into that later in derivatives and fixed income. But you've got to grasp the basic intuition here. Whenever identical future cash flows have different present values, an arbitrage opportunity exists. And financial markets will ruthlessly and rapidly eliminate those pricing differences. The intense buying pressure on the mispriced asset forces its price to correct, bringing everything right back in line with cash flow additivity. Before we finish, I want you to burn this exact 3-step sequence into your brain. Step 1, estimate the future cash flows. Step 2, choose an appropriate discount rate. Step 3, calculate the present value. Because it truly doesn't matter if you're looking at a mortgage, a zero-coupon bond, a traditional bond, or a stock. This is the only process you actually need to understand valuation. So I'll leave you with this to chew on. What if the real secret to passing the CFA exam isn't memorizing 100 different disjointed formulas, but just completely mastering this one core idea? Are you going to be ready to apply this unified time value of money framework to every single asset they throw at you on exam day? If this explainer helped things click for you, do me a favor and subscribe to Designation Buddy for more CFA modules. We'll see you in the next one, and hey, good luck with the studying.